Hello everybody and welcome to the channel Crossing the Spiritual Streams. My name is Tandra and today we're going to do another unboxing of a tarot deck, flip through the deck basically, and this one's going to be on the Thelema Tarot, which is a really cool looking deck. It's really pretty, so we're going to go through those cards here and take a look at what they look like and all. This is what the back looks like. It's kind of a pretty, I like the brownish and the stars, you know, and the symbol there. It's kind of pretty. It's not overdone, which was nice. This deck has some, the hues in it are a little bit darker than some of the decks that are out there. Okay, here's the Ace of Wands, which, you know, just a simple card, but I do like how the wand is kind of the magical, you know, wand with the light, you know, up above it, the staff, you know, kind of like that. There's the Two of Wands. You notice how this deck has kind of a, like I said, it has a lot of brownish and darker hues to it, and it's just, the colors in it are kind of interesting how they go about. There's the Three of Wands, which is very similar to the Two, but instead of looking out over land, they're looking out over, you know, and they have this ship off in the distance. Then there's the Four of Wands. I like the doves flying around in that one. I think it's really pretty. Then we have the Five of Wands. And then there's the Six of Wands, sorry. It's interesting on the Six of Wands, there's not really somebody in there. They're just kind of all crisscrossed, you know, together and all with the flag. It's kind of interesting, some of the symbolisms they've put in the cards. Like the Seven of Wands, I like this one because all the wands are kind of laying there, you know, very protective, and then she's got one that she's holding and all. I really kind of like that. Then we have the Eight of Wands. The Nine of Wands, I like how contemplative he is in this one, where he's looking over that. Then we have the Ten of Wands. Then we have the Page, the Queen. I love her dress, and that one is so gorgeous. And then we have the Knight, which should have been before the Queen, but okay. And then the King. All right, so that's the Wands cards. Now, the Cups cards, like I said, the colors that they decided to use in these, like instead of the blues and the watery colors, you notice how this one's more of a greenish gray and whites, which is really kind of cool. I love how the dove is coming out of the clouds here with this one. Then we have the Two, which has the dolphins, you know, with the circle around them. I thought that was beautiful. Then we have the Three of Cups. I love this Four of Cups card because the cups are all very bright and shiny and beautiful, and you know, there's like a lily coming out that she's sitting upon and she's contemplating, and then there's the one right by her head that she's not looking at. Also, the Five of Cups is very cool for the same reason. Instead of her turning away from a cup, she just isn't seeing them because they're up above her and she's got her hands over her eyes. Then we have the Six of Cups, and then the Seven of Cups, which has the traditional cups with various items inside, which is kind of, you know, they're very cool. Then we have the Eight of Cups, the Nine of Cups, which are filled with bountiful things. This Ten of Cups card is kind of interesting. It doesn't have as much of the family celebratory picture in it, but it does kind of have still the rainbowish effect up top there. Then we have the Page of Cups, the Knight, the Queen. Once again, that Queen's very beautiful. And then the King. Lots of doves in the Cups cards there. Very pretty. All right, and then we go on to the Pentacle cards. I've always found this one kind of interesting because it shows almost a garden with the gates open, so it's almost like the promise of what can come with the new start there. So I think that's really pretty. Then we have the Two of Pentacles. It's interesting how he's kind of a court jester kind of person, you know, on a unicycle. That's interesting. Then we have the Three of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles. I like this one because she might be hoarding away her money, but you might also interpret it, you know, a little bit different way too. It's not got some of the connotation that some of the Four of Pentacles sometimes has. We have the Five of Pentacles, which I also really like because it's still out in front of a church, and it, you know, might be a beggar looking for something, but you know, they're not totally down on their luck and downtrodden in that card, which I kind of like. The Six of Pentacles, and I always found this one interesting because of the scales that's in it, because, you know, that's not common in that card. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles. I like how she's hard at work sewing and doing, you know, other domestic chores, and not just working, you know, at a forge or, you know, in a church or other work. It's showing a different type of work in that card, which I kind of like. The Nine of Pentacles. She almost looks like a bride in that picture. The Ten of Pentacles. And then there's the Page. And the Knight. And the Queen. And then the King. Okay. Now we go on to the Swords card. There's the Ace, and it is up in the air like a lot of swords are. I also think the sword is just a beautiful looking sword in this, which, you know, sometimes they're not. There's the Two of Swords. This one, the way the girl in it is looking is slightly different than in some of the other, you know, she's a little bit more distressed, I think, in this one than in some. This one's the Three of Swords. I like how they did not actually have a heart being pierced. I mean, it still has the rose and the redness and all that of the heart, but it doesn't show the heart being pierced, which I really like, because that always kind of annoys me with that card. We have the Four of Swords. I like how he's got one laying down here at rest, and he is meditating. I like that. We have the Five of Swords. Notice how most of these swords cards have the darker grays and almost blacks and other things involved in them. It's very kind of cool. Then there's the Six of Swords. There's the Seven. I like the look of the thief in this one. You know, kind of getting out of the castle there. It's kind of cool. The Eight of Swords. The Nine of Swords. I like this Ten of Swords card because instead of just like laying down in a battle with all the swords in their back and just kind of laying there, you know, dead, this one is more like the heavens are piercing her and, you know, throwing out all of these swords at her, and it's almost more than she can bear, and that's why she's on her knees and bent over and hunched, but she's not necessarily dead or down and out in this one, so I kind of like that depiction. There's the Page of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and then there's the King of Swords. Okay, so then we go on to the Major Arcana, and we have the Fool card. A lot of these cards have the depiction of the church arch in them, which is kind of cool. And once again, the colors in it it's interesting, the different color choices. Like this one's so full of the greens, but they're not the earthly greens, they're more ethereal, which is kind of cool. We have the Magician and the High Priestess. Then we have the Empress and the Emperor. And then we have the Hierophant, the Lovers with the angel looking out over them, the Chariot. This one's interesting because it almost depicts like they're Pegasus rather than just horses, and I'm not really, because it's behind them, but it kind of gives that symbolism slightly. the Strength card, the Hermit, the Wheel, Justice, the Hanged Man, which I found interesting that he has a snake coiled around his leg, which could give it some slightly different meanings in the readings. We have the Death card. We have Temperance, the Devil. I like how he's not quite the horned and tailed red devil that we normally see. I think that's kind of interesting. We have the Tower, the Star, the Moon, the Sun, which once again has kind of the rose images inside it, which is really cool. Judgment, and then the World card. So as you can see, the deck has a lot of really beautiful colors and symbolism. The artistry in it, I think, is a really pretty deck. So it's really kind of nice interpretation deck. It has a lot of really cool different things in the cards that help it be interpreted a little differently. So I really kind of like this deck a lot. The colors, even though they're not vibrant and popping, they have such an interesting characteristic to them because of the way they flow into each other and stuff. So I really like that. I really hope you guys like this reading, and I hope this gives you a good idea whether or not you'd like this deck or not. Remember to give the video a thumbs up and leave comments in the comment section. Let me know what your favorite card was in the deck, or what you thought about the deck, or maybe some other decks you'd like to see. We can try to get a hold of them if we can. Or on any other subject or other videos you'd like to see in general. All those are really helpful to me. If you can subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, you can be notified of future videos. Also, check out our other videos on the channel. We have other flip-throughs of other tarot decks, as well as videos on how to read tarot cards. We also have Pick-a-Pile tarot readings. Most of them are timeless, so you can go through and pick out some of those to watch. So all of those things help the channel out a lot, and it helps YouTube share the channel with other people, helps the channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to donate to the channel, there's a link in the description to PayPal that you can do that with. And that's all we have for you today, and we'll see you in future videos. May the stars guide your path. Bye-bye.